Guten Morgen. Today I'm going to show you a guide for a 2-tower chimps that I did pretty recently, and it's a pretty fun and interesting one, so let's get straight to it. I'm doing this voiceover after, actually a good while, maybe a week after I did the recording. So as you can see, I start by placing a wizard. I place it in a kind of weird spot. I don't put it in the corner, and I'm not sure why I do that, because I made this a while ago, but I just do it just to be safe. There's probably a reason with sniping and targeting. So as we go along, this guy's going to become a pod, which is a 025 wizard, and the other tower is going to be an anti-bloon, which will be the 250 super monkey. So as you can see, I'm just getting the upgrades going in the order that I have. And also something to note is that this is chimps, so technically we can be in the running for a black border, but if it's not going so smooth, it's just the safest to exit home and reload it. Even though you're going to get a gold border, it's going to be so much easier to gold border a 2TC and then just spend 20 or 30 minutes later to black border it over again than trying to struggle black bordering a 2TC. So definitely if something's getting through, just press home and go back. But after we get wall of fire, everything's going to be so much simpler. So we should not even be close to dying. Actually, we might get close to dying on a few rounds if we're not going to be using any abilities, which I don't in this run, which is great. But definitely you can make it not as close if you use abilities, so it's going to be a lot easier after that. Also about abilities, this was a big shocker to me. I did not have to use a single one, and I was focused very determinedly throughout the whole run because I thought I would have to use a ton of abilities. So I was looking the whole time, but to my surprise, we actually go all the way up to 98 with just the tech terror and the pod, so that's great. But as said before, I would just recommend looking over because you don't want to accidentally die to some weird RNG that I did not get. So the tech terror ability is free to use as many times as you want. You can use it throughout and it will make the run a little bit easier, but for this run I did not, and you can AFK it if you want to be a little daring, I don't know. But basically we have the 022 wizard that's going to become the pod later. We need to get super up before we upgrade to a shimmer, or else we won't pop the purples, and then we should be fine. We're just going to go straight for the pod and super monkey, so I'll see you then. So we have the pod and super monkey, as said before, just 025 wizard, and we're going to be getting plasma blasts on this guy instead of the knockback because plasma is much more powerful. You get a lot more damage, and we have the shimmer, so the wizard can decamo DDTs. So as you can see here on 98, we're going to be buying the anti-bloon mid-round here. I believe, as you can see, it gets pretty close, but the pod does a pretty good job cleaning everything up. So as you can see, definitely recommend using the tech terror ability if you want. but we're just cruising straight through it, and we can get anti-bloon, and after that, these last rounds will be easy. With Plasma Blast, the anti-bloon will shred the bad player, and that is great. So that is a 2TC. This one's actually pretty fun. I normally don't have fun doing 2TCs because it's really long and boring, because you just wait for the towers to do their damage. But I actually enjoyed watching these two towers shred, and I like the buff to the new guy.